Alright, we're going to start detailing now, and I want to get this body all detailed up. Just going to use a regular guitar polish. This stuff is good. You know, again, Dunlop, Gibson, Martin, they all make really good polishes. Just spritz it very sparingly on the bridge. And then take a microfiber cloth or cotton cloth, doesn't matter, it's not going to hurt the finish. And just go ahead and wipe that all clean. You can see a lot's coming off. Okay, so we're going to keep working that until it all evaporates off of there. Keep moving the rag around. Let that polish evaporate a little bit. And get the sides, get the front. Take a finger and get underneath those tuners. Again, underneath the tuners. And pretty quickly that bridge piece came, that bridge body came really nice and clean. So we'll set that aside. That's basically ready for reassembly. Now, when it comes to these saddles, on the Floyd Rose style tremolos and this TRS trem, there are a lot of little parts to them, so when you disassemble them, make sure that you keep them all in line and don't drop anything on a carpet or anything because you're going to lose the parts. So here's what we're going to do. We're going to take this, take the bolt out. Some of these should come apart very easily. Just take that, flip it over. Now that came apart very easily. This block came out very easily. Now what I want you to do is, or what you should do is, now that these parts are out, let's kind of back up and move over to another part here. These things need to get lubricated because they dry out and then they start sticking. So let's bring this over here. I use Amsoil, or a good quality gun oil will really help you out. You want to spray it into the hole and you want to get lubrication in there so that that block doesn't stick. So we'll just spray that in there. That actually looks pretty good. What I'll do is just wipe that off real quick, wipe the excess off. And then I just want to make sure that this block doesn't have any corrosion on it. I hope you can see all this. And what I do is I take a piece of that micromesh 6000 grit, and I just want to wipe the sides off. You've got a little hole there where the bolt engages. You want to go to either side of it and just kind of rub off any corrosion. Now the micromesh isn't going to hurt this at all. It's just going to take off any little burrs or spurs that you have and just clean that up nicely. Okay? We should still have lubrication inside the cavity. So let's bring it back over and let's reassemble this. Okay, and we'll get back here. Now remember, we left lubrication in there, but we wiped off the saddle and we cleaned off the edges. So we're going to drop this back in, and you can see it fell right into place, which is great. Some of these TRS trims, they have plates on the back of them. This one happens to be missing, so that block will fall all the way through if you let it. And then we'll replace the bolt so that we don't lose that block. You can also, if you're having problems with threads on these bolts, you can also spray that Amsoil or gun oil on those to get those working. Now I have to bring this up because I had a problem with the big E-string bridge where I actually had to take a punch and knock that piece out. It was so corroded in there that I pulled the screw out and it just wouldn't move. So what I did was I punched the piece out, sprayed it with Amsoil or the gun oil, and then I kind of worked it with the rag and everything, and I tried to get all the gunk and you know, probably 15 years worth of dirt out of there. And then I left it lubricated and I wiped off the outside for the excess. And then I also went through and just polished that piece up again, that make sure that nothing's binding in there. And then this actually slid right in. Slid right in. and then the bolt went in, and it's a fully functional piece. Now when I went to pull this apart, I had absolutely nothing but trouble. I did this off a camera because it took me probably 5 or 10 minutes just to get the piece out. But know that you might run into this. If you've got older Floyd Roses or older Ibanez TRS or low pro bridges, those pieces might get stuck on you, and you're going to need to work them out, and you need to do it very carefully. I already scored a war wound and everything else, but you want to do this to make sure that the bridge actually functions when you put it back together. So to spare you any more of my anguish and agony, I'm going to actually do these off camera, and then we'll go back and reassemble the bridge.